HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This segment of the news is brought to you by BTC, powered by Lime.
The murder count climbs as a woman is shot and killed, a man accosted outside his home. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Charisma Robinson, and welcome to the weekend edition of The Bahamas Tonight. A busy weekend for police here in the capital. The latest homicide victim collapsed and died a few hours ago on the grounds of a police station. The tragic scene initially unfolded in the Pinewood Gardens area. Head of the Central Detective Unit, Superintendent Paul Rowe, telling ZNS News that the victim was a backseat passenger in a Honda traveling in Pinewood Gardens when two men in a red Ford Explorer pulled alongside them and opened fire on the vehicle.
This afternoon around 2 o'clock p.m., a male left a wedding reception and off a street and was on his way home along with two female passengers in his vehicle. As he got in the area of Sequoia Street in the Pinewood Gardens community, a red Ford Explorer pulled alongside his vehicle and opened fire on his vehicle, discharging several shots into the vehicle. The female passenger, the backseat passenger of the vehicle, was struck. The male continued driving to the police station where this Ford Explorer continued following him and discharging shots at the vehicle until they got here. And the vehicle eventually pulled back I suppose he realized they were coming to the station. We appeal to members of the public who may have information with this latest homicide to give us a call so we can act on it and try to bring this to some resolution.
Now traffic backed up for miles in the vicinity of the South Beach Police Station where the bullet-riddled vehicle pulled up. The male driver and a female front seat passenger were not injured. A Nassau Village resident is also dead after he was accosted outside his home. Police say the victim was parking his car at his residence on Williams Street in Nassau Village when two armed men approached him around 9:15 last night. He was hit multiple times about the body. Now the man was taken to hospital by private vehicle where he died a short time later. Police are this afternoon searching for the men and are appealing to the public for any assistance in solving this latest homicide. Police are also in search of two suspects responsible for two armed robberies and car theft. During the first incident around 4 p.m. yesterday, police say a woman was exiting her brown 2001 Honda vehicle when an armed man approached, robbed her, and drove off in the car. That incident unfolded at Churchill Avenue. The suspect was described as a dark male wearing a white shirt. Now, just after 12 this morning on St. Albans Drive, another woman was robbed at gunpoint of her silver 1996 Honda Inspire vehicle. There is a similar resemblance as the suspect is again described as a dark male wearing a white shirt. Anyone with information on any of those cases are asked to contact police. Well, the fight against crime branched out into the wider community today in hopes of striking at the heart of the problem in a positive way. The Bahamas Crisis Center teamed up with police and school officials to conduct a walkabout in Gambier Village, all in an attempt to continue the fight against escalating violence in the country. Jiminita Swain reports.
20 volunteers from the Bahamas Crisis Center braved the Saturday morning heat to walk about the Gambier community, talking to residents about violence and back-to-school issues that included healthy relationships, tips for bullying, and conflict resolution. Director of the Bahamas Crisis Center, Dr. Sandra Dean Patterson, says it's all in an effort to bring peace back to communities.
We live in a country where the horror stories frighten us. You know, you see you hear the headlines on ZNS or the newspaper or whatever, and we say, no, this cannot be our little island. We've got to do something about it. And this is a crisis center initiative to do that.
Deputy Director Donna Nichols said it was crucial to talk with residents about services available at the crisis center as an avenue for help.
It's really about us tapping into people generally and letting them know that we're here to help and how you can be able to access our services. Pamphlets with information, sometimes just reading through a pamphlet with the information is very helpful. So we just want people to know, and we plan to do this once a month in different communities. You'll hear about us, so when you see us in our Peace in the Shirt t-shirts, come out and welcome us and let's have a little dialogue, because what we're trying to do is change our nation into one of peace.
Volunteer Duran Thompson feels there is no better way to get the message out than to take it directly to the people.
Last year was our 30th anniversary, and our theme is peace at home, peace in the community. So what we're doing is we're actually going into the communities, touching the lives, going directly with the persons in the homes. We feel it's very important that if we get the homes to have peace, it will spill out into the communities and ultimately out in the society as a whole, to create that peaceful country that we so badly desire.
Dr. Patterson says the next community event will be mounted next month in Baintown to continue a community outreach effort which will be taken throughout the country, one community at a time. Jiminita Swain, ZNS Network News.
More could be unfolding on the Cuban saga as Bahamian officials take steps to ensure that a proper investigation is carried out into allegations of abuse at the detention center. Minister of Foreign Affairs Fred Mitchell is expected to address the Cuban detainee issue at a special news conference here in the capital tomorrow. Minister Mitchell is returning home following meetings in Washington, New York, Atlanta, and Miami. His meeting in Miami was apparently underway as members of the Miami-based Democracy Movement held a news conference in the area on the Cuban detainees in the Bahamas. That group also welcomed to South Florida several Cubans yesterday who were recently granted asylum from the Bahamas to the United States. Meantime, the Immigration Department continues to seek solutions to the illegal migration problems facing the Bahamas, and the constant flow of migrants remains at the heart of the concerns. To help combat the challenges, the department is taking steps to increase its manpower needs. According to Acting Director of Immigration William Pratt, recruitment exercises are currently underway along with other initiatives.
We are in a recruitment process at the moment, and the government has approved us to hire 60 officers and an additional 40 perhaps early next year. So that'll be 100 to supplement our present manpower. In addition to that, Cabinet has approved that we also initiate an immigration reserve service similar to that of the Royal Bahamas Police and Defense Force. And so with the reserve service, it would also help to increase our manpower needs, particularly on those islands where we don't presently have immigration officers stationed.
Well, still to come in the Weekend Report, the new school year just days away, and thousands are preparing for the classroom.